All right, in this video we're going to test the GT500 fuel hat. So specifically the 07 to 12 fuel hat. So this is the OEM hat. This and the 07 to 12s with the steel tank. 13, 14 have the composite tank, different fuel hat. But so this one actually was from a 2011. He upgraded to like a 4 fuel system, so that's why the sender is missing. But it's a takeoff. I want to say he had 30 or 40,000 miles on it. I don't recall. But we're going to get it on the rig and test it. So for this video, I'm just going to test it at standard voltage. And then I'll make another video to test, voltage boosted. Or, guys like to run BAPs on the GT500. So we'll see what it flows there. So, and then I'm going to do it at 30 to 70 PSI, 10 PSI increments. So let's get started. I'm actually anxious to see what it flows. I think the consensus is around 220 each pump. If you look online, Ford is bad about giving their OEM system ratings, but I want to say the consensus is 220 liters per hour per pump, and so maybe around 440 total. But I don't know, we'll see. Get it set up. You don't know till you test it. So I will be finding out the same time you are. I had to make a little plug. It was a pain in the butt to make. There we are, let's drop it in. All right, 13.5 volts, 25 amps. It's a little more amperage than I expected to see. So 12 and a half, 13 amps per pump. It's a good sign though. A 12 to 13 amp pump is healthy, it means it's got some good flow. Let's not have it at 80 psi. So we're going to start down at 30. And then we'll work our way up. Let's see what we got. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just set you down and record the numbers. So that 25 amps was at 80 psi. Forgot to readjust my regulator. So it's actually down around 20 amps now. So it's a little more believable. So I got 20.5 and 2.1. Go up to 40 psi. Now 40 psi is the standard for testing fuel pumps. And we are bouncing from 1.8 to 1.9. So when it does that, I like to do 1.85, and I'm at 22 amps. We go up to 50. $23.1. 1.7, 60. So 60 would be like, 20 pounds of boost on top of your base pressure. So I'm at 24.4, and I'm at 1 point. It's bouncing from 5 to 6, so I'll do 5.5 and 70. There we are, 1.4 and 25.7 amps. Yeah, so there are the numbers at 13.5 volts. Let's convert them real quick. Actually, before I do that, alright, see how there's fuel coming out? Got all blurry. The high pressure relief valve. So turn this off for a minute. I'm going to do this at the end, but the PPRV on the GT500 hat is different. So not only does it hold fuel in the lines, but it has a high pressure relief. So off the top of the PPRV valve that runs in line, you then have this dump coming down, which is a higher pressure relief. You saw it was actually open at 70 psi. So I'm not sure what pressure it started opening and draining out. I'll probably do that after I look at these numbers, because I'm curious. And then I think after I make this video, the next one I'll make will be the voltage boosted one, get their numbers, and then I'll do a PPRV delete, see what kind of improvement we get. But convert these from gallons per minute to liters per hour. 477 liters per hour, and then 40. So this will be what it actually, if someone's to say how much does it flow, the standard is 13.5 volts, 40 psi. So this is what it flows. Let's see how close it was. 420, pretty close. So in the module, right, 2 pumps in the module pumping through a PPRV valve with a Venturi dump siphon, you're getting a total of 420 liters per hour, or about 210 per pump. So 1.7, 386. So this is about your flow with 10 pounds of boost. $352. That would be if you were at 20 pounds of boost, or 60 psi total fuel pressure. And we'll do this last one up at 70. 227.125 equals 318. All right, so there are the numbers. So the OEM hat flows 420 liters per hour, so about 210 per pump at your standard pressure for testing. And then there's your flow loss at higher pressures under boost. So not bad. There are single pumps that, right, the 295 single pump flows 525 liters per hour at 40. So it's got a good 105 liters per hour over it. But yeah, that's cool. So that's it for the video. I'm going to break them up because my videos have been getting long when I do everything. But I do want to try to see what pressure that, like I mentioned earlier, this PPRV on the GT500 hat, unlike the GT hat, so the GT hat is just a PPRV. The GT500 one actually has a high pressure relief as well. So I'm going to try to find out at what pressure that starts opening. So it is relieving fuel at 70 psi, so I'm going to dial it down to 60. So now I'm at 60 psi. Still dumping a little bit of fuel. Interesting. I wonder when that seat starts opening, or if it's open all the time a little bit. Because that's another place where you're losing. I mean, it's not a lot, right? It's just kind of trickling out. Still trickling out a little bit. At 50, let's go all the way down to 40 and see if that actually relieves pressure all the time. Very little. So it is proportional to pressure. So there you go. So that'll be cool. So like I said, that's it for this one. The next one I'm going to do the boosted numbers. And then the third video will be, I'll delete the PPRV completely. And by removing that restriction and removing that pressure dump, we'll see how much performance we get from that mod. All right, that's it. Thanks.